What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to Redskins Hangover. I'm your host, Collin Shoot, with my buddy Nick Webster, my other host. How you doing, Nick?
Oh, I thought you were going to call me your other hoe.
My other hoe, Nick. Yeah, you're kind of a hoe, aren't you?
How's it going, everybody?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
It's over. Feeling better than I felt Friday morning.
Yeah. How was that, huh? we definitely had a draft party.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. It was nice. Everybody keeps telling me, they're like, yeah, all my coworkers, we call them coworkers, all my laid off friends that I used to work with, we sometimes get together for happy hour. And I'm like, oh, well, all right. Well, that's pretty good.
Like on Skype, you're saying?
Yeah, they have their Zoom meetings and stuff.
That was pretty much our Zoom meeting right there.
Yeah.
That was the one.
Yeah. I blame that
legendary Redskin posters from Dexter Manley. Art Monk is his favorite player.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Thanks, Art. Thanks everybody that tuned in on Thursday during the draft. That was a fun first round. Absolutely. Wow. We definitely made it a draft party. Chase Young. Seems to be the consensus that people are very satisfied with the Chase Young pick. And in fact, I think that's all that matters to a lot of people is that we got an impact player, Nick. How do you feel about that? It seems like a lock in terms of Chase.
Yeah. Chase it's great, right? He was probably the player you always wanted, right? He was the player in this draft. Yeah. When we started talking about losing those last few games way back in woefully 2019, Chase Young was the prize, the win for sucking. And we got it. Like, we actually followed through on what we were hoping for in December. That never happens in a Redskins season. You never have your hopes in December actually play out to what you want them to happen.
Yeah.
But in this case, it did. I'm stoked. I think who wins in this Chase Young thing? Everybody. Everybody wins with Chase Young. Montez Sweat wins with Chase Young. Jack Del Rio, Ron Rivera. They're building their culture their way. That defensive line. Can we talk about that for a second, Collin? Huh?
We can talk about it if we can fit it in, because I think that's Ron Rivera's problem. How is he going to fit everybody into the game? We are stacked, baby. We look like an LSU or an Alabama, where you can just rotate, stud after stud. It's exciting. That's one position where you want to be able to rotate guys. I think that's the hardest position to keep your stamina. It is a tiring position. So let's talk about it. We're moving to a 4-3, no doubt. You got to put your strength on the field, and 4 is not even enough, If we could do 6, that'd be even better.
Yeah. It's exciting because, with the addition of Chase Young, having Chase Young and Montez Sweat both go for the quarterback in the same snap. Montez Sweat doesn't have to try to cover a running back or a tight end there.
I don't want to see Ryan Kerrigan out in coverage ever again.
We'll see. I did a poll on Twitter, kind of got mixed results here a little bit. The Redskins actually were 10th in the NFL in sacks last year. I know that's a little bit hard to believe. I had a double take there on that statistic. They were number 10. But I think with Jack Del Rio coming in, this defensive scheme, and the just workhorses there in the trenches for the defensive line, I think this is going to be a top 3, top 2 team in terms of sacks. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. You would think it's probably the best D-line in football at this point. It's hard not to grade them number 1 going in on paper. We'll see how it translates, but I would think so. So yeah, it's thrilling. I would hope that we are top 3 in terms of sacks, in terms of yards per carry.
Sure.
I mean, if we can shut down the run, it's going to make things a lot easier on the cornerbacks. We didn't draft really. We didn't make any improvements in the secondary in this draft.
Yeah.
So that's something I would have liked to have seen. Didn't happen. And the other big one, Nick, is we didn't make big improvements on the offensive line. That's absolutely the biggest question mark, and that's the trade-off you get for drafting Chase Young, a huge impact player. You didn't trade down, though. You didn't address the offensive line. I'm concerned with how we're going to evaluate Dwayne Haskins this year with the offensive line. I think that's going to be challenging for him and the offense as a whole. How do you feel about the sacrifice that we made? Because we did pick an offensive lineman, correct? Shaquille Charles, 4th round, LSU. They say he's got short arms, alligator arms for linemen.
Well, and the pedigree that Louisville tackles bring,
LSU.
Oh, LSU. There we go.
Yeah.
Boy, good. Because I was thinking about our guy at Louisville, Jerron Christian.
Yeah.
I thought I had a connection there. No, I'm worried, man. I'm worried about the offensive line. Are you kidding me? I don't think you can rely too much on Mr. Charles down there from down the bayou. Probably drinking the swamp water, having himself a good old time over there.
I hope so.
But I think it's going to be very hard for us to judge Dwayne Haskins at all. It's going to be tough for us to judge him this year regardless. I mean, you think about the struggles that he had with the offense last year, learning the scheme, right? And let's be real here. Jay Gruden probably wasn't doing him any favors, right? Now that we're looking back on all those videos, Jay Gruden was a little checked out for last year. So, I don't think it's maybe not all Haskins' fault, but he's going to have to pick up on that scheme. I was talking to our buddy Jackson Magnini, JMags89, follow him on Twitter. Great conversations today that we both had. Anyway.
I talked to him too. I didn't even know you were on the phone with him. He's a man of many talents. He's in many places at once.
Yeah. Well, he probably ended your phone call early so he could get on with my phone call.
Wow. He said he had a call from one of his clients.
Oh, well.
I didn't know it was you.
Yeah, I'm in the business. I ran a 6.540 the other day.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's actually great. I didn't run anything close to a 6.540. Are you kidding me? I'm afraid to actually clock that because it's all funny, right? It's all a funny thing. Yeah, I'm going to figure out what my 40 time is until you figure out what your 40 time is. And you're like, this was.
Well, who had an amazing 40 time is our second pick in the 3rd round is Antonio Gibson out of Memphis. He's a burner, baby. He is a speed demon. And a lot of people feel that maybe we reached for him. A versatile cat. He can play receiver and running back. He's well built. He can take some hits for as fast as he is. I think he's over 200 pounds, like 220 pounds or something. So that's exciting. Some people think we reached a little. Nick, how do you feel about him? Because he seems like the guy that's going to replace Chris Thompson. He's going to be the 3rd down back, and they'll probably line him up in the slot here and there, try to get him the ball on some screens, some short passing crosses. I'm intrigued. How do you feel about that pick?
Look, I'm intrigued too. The experts are going to say that we reached. But there's always people that fall and people that rise, and let's not assume that there's really the science that's figured out yet in terms of drafting. Does he make you excited, and can you kind of do something and carve out a job for him in this offense? And you know what? That's what our offensive coordinator is going to be in charge of doing. And if they can get him the ball, I was talking to Jackson. This was the comparison he gave me, was Chris Thompson with strength.
Yeah.
He said that they're going to make it's potential. Gibson has the potential to make people forget about Chris Thompson,
Yeah.
which I thought was pretty strong words there. We all love Chris Thompson, right?
Yeah.
Definitely left with
Absolutely.
Gruden, it seems like.
Yeah, it's
But
unfortunate. I wish him well. I hope somebody picks him up. He's got a lot of talent. And the thing with him, it was just incredibly difficult for him to stay healthy
yeah,
throughout his whole career. And I mean, he battled back from injury over and over and over again. So good luck to him. So yeah, I mean, Gibson seems like the guy that is going to replace him. I mean, Ron Rivera said he reminds him of Christian McCaffrey in terms of skill set. I don't think he's comparing him to him, but in a way he is. That's what he said.
right,
So
yeah,
I don't
that's a
think he
direct
says he'll
comparison.
be Christian McCaffrey, but that's a comparison. We can only hope he can be half that good.
Um, Now there is something interesting that Jackson brought up that I wanted to share with you. I know you
Yeah.
wrote that article that kind of talked about the new culture that Ron's bringing in,
Uh-huh.
and how some personalities might not quite mesh with this new culture, this new system, this new way of doing.
Yeah.
We were talking about Gibson, right? That kind of speedster. And Jackson and I both see him having kind of a pivotal role in this offense. Jackson's thinking, ideally, he's going to get 10 carries and 5 targets in the passing game. I mean, real heavy usage here. And we started talking about the running backs a little bit more, right? And I said, how are you going to figure out this game plan? What's going on? He said, I see AP getting about 10 carries. I see Gibson getting about 10 carries and 5 targets. That was the end of the conversation.
Yeah. Where does
I said,
Darius
well,
Geis fall? Yeah.
where does Darius Geis fall in? He said, look at it too. They signed two running backs in the offseason, right? J.D. McKissick and Peyton Barber. And the real assumption that he's got going on right now is Peyton Barber is the backup for AP and J.D. McKissick is the backup for Gibson. Which kind of, you do the math, you figured it out, leaves Geis on the outside looking in.
Yeah, it's interesting. He thinks that Geis could be out for this team. He says that not a lot of people are interested in him. He's just got some baggage. And look, AP is a guy that Ron Rivera, I mean, he's the perfect Ron Rivera guy, right? He just lines up and plays. He doesn't really get injured. He just shows up. He works hard. He doesn't talk. He's just all about football. He's a football machine. He's the Ron Rivera prototype. Darius Geis, he doesn't mesh with what Ron Rivera wants to create as a culture. So it's interesting. And look, as me, the Redskins fan, Collin, I would love to see Darius Geis start. I would love to see them pass the torch and see what the young guy can do. He's got a lot more ceiling at this point than AP. I mean, AP, he's playing hard. You know, we've seen the way he runs, but you would love to see them make that transition. It's concerning. What are they going to do with Geis? Where are
I
you
mean,
at
is
on
it?
this, Nick?
I
Where?
just want an answer. Just like Trent Williams stuff. And if you're tuning in and you're waiting for us to talk about some Trent Williams stuff for the last time, I try to promise you for the last time on Redskins Hangover, we're going to talk about Trent Williams, and then we're going to lay that monster to rest. But I'm getting tired of the Trent Williams talk. I'm ready to be
Sure.
done with it, Colin. I'm off my tangent. What are we talking about?
Darius Geis.
Oh, oh God, one headache to another headache. No, I just want an answer. I wanted to figure out what's going on, right? If Darius Geis can put it together, if he can go out there and deliver on the field, then I really don't care what he does with the shenanigans. I know that's not the Ron Rivera mold, but he's got to stay healthy, right? Like, regardless of the season that he has or the extracurricular stuff,
Yeah.
he's got to stay healthy because right now he's kind of got quite a body of work that
How can you
suggests the
evaluate him?
opposite. Yeah,
You can't evaluate him. I need him
you
on the
can't.
field for 10 games at
Hmm.
least. I need to see him in the mix. And yeah, he just hasn't been dependable. So it's hard to evaluate him as a future back for this franchise. Obviously, he's got some, impressive skills and impressive credentials coming out of school, and we've seen the flashes.
How many times can you watch those replays, though? How many times can I
No.
watch LSU replays?
What have you done for me lately? I can't watch any of them.
What
Yeah,
have you
I
done
want
for
to
me
see them.
ever? I'm not a Tigers fan. I'm a Redskin fan.
Yeah,
You put up
yeah.
great preseason numbers.
Now, regardless of who the back is, let's get back to this offensive line. Nick, I mean, some of the names out there that are going to be starting, I can't even go through the whole offensive line right now and name it
Yeah.
off the top of my head. I mean these guys, it's just very concerning.
What,
And
Morgan Moses? You know Morgan. You know old
Morgan
plays on 2 broken ankles, Collin. Nothing's stopping him. He ain't coming out the game.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, look, besides Scherf, right?
Lock him up, Redskin fans.
Yeah.
Lock up the
Everyone
Scherf.
else,
Yeah, I know.
you can take or leave them. And
Chase
I mean,
Roulier.
we know, Nick, how many
whoop-de-doo.
injuries we've had in the past few years, especially on the offensive line. We can't even trust that these guys are going to just start. I mean, you're going to have to bring in some of the younger names on the team to replace some of these guys during the year for snaps at some point.
Whoa. Collin, Donald Penn is a free agent. He's still available. Jordan Peters. Yeah, fly, eagle, fly. Still available. We've got so many options for that. What? Don't worry about the offensive line.
You can't even convince yourself, brother. Look at you.
I'm trying.
I know. So, huge hole. Offensive line. Defensive line is secure. Is it worth it? Was it worth it? Grab and chase. Of course, we don't really know till the season begins, but in your mind, any doubts that we made the wrong decision? Or the right decision?
No, I think you made the right decision. Here, you're worried about the offensive line, and I think those are very valid concerns.
Yeah.
And we talked about it earlier. It's going to be hard to evaluate Haskins. I see this as a lot of opportunity, and there are a lot of competition. They preached about that competition a lot, but to see kind of the opportunities happen, right? We know that Ron Rivera will play untested rookies to try to get them game experience. I think we're all realizing, and it's showing now, especially also with your article, they're gonna compete in the sense of they're gonna battle, right? They're gonna go in there with pride to fight the good fight. But are we going there to compete for wins to get to the playoffs? I think this is a clear signal. No. We kind of went with our wealth of resources. We reinforced our defensive line, which was not a position of need. We went with the best available instead of maybe swallowing a pick from the Falcons, who showed interest, or the Miami Dolphins, who seemed like they wanted Tua the whole time. But this is the best move moving forward. Let these players develop. Let's see some young, hungry people. And here's the thing: if you see any of these young wide receivers, we've got an extremely young wide receiver core, Collin. I think it's going to be hard for them to eat with Dwayne Haskins having not much time to throw out of the pocket there. But if any of these wide receivers, other than Terry McLaurin, have a good year, that's going to be exciting. And maybe with the turnaround that Redskin Insider talked about with the 2021 cap space, we might be talking a 1-year turnaround.
Yeah, I mean, 1-year turnaround, it's possible. So, the receiving core, I don't know. It's a bit exciting with the draft, right? A lot of people are very, very high on Mr. Antonio gandy-golden out of Liberty. And I think he's a large threat that possibly we can use in the red zone. And, I mean, let's be honest. We needed some size at receiver. How do you feel about that draft pick? That seems to be the pick in the draft, Nick, that people grade as an A. Right there in was that the 5th round or the 4th? I think it was the 4th.
Yeah. I don't know. I spent so much time watching it with us there on that first round that I gave those later rounds a break. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I won't watch it on Saturday.
I
understand. Just a little drawn out. Yeah.
Yeah. The receiving core is very interesting, though. You got Sims in the slot, and now you got Gibson who can work in there. You got Kelvin Harmon, and then I would say Golden probably is competing with him. Obviously, you got Terry.
Trey
So
Quinn?
there is.
Where you got Trey Quinn in the world?
Man, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah,
got his work cut out for him, Mr. Irrelevant this year. It'll be interesting, and that's great. That's great for everybody. The more competition, the better.
yeah.
So the
All
receiving
right.
core, it's interesting.
Let's talk about this Golden Gandy, right? Because I
Yeah,
feel like we could have like a Golden Gandy segment. I don't know. It
yeah,
just feels very whimsical. I think of somebody like hopping around with a basket. Golden Gandy, Golden Gandy.
yeah. It's a lovely little name.
But here's my worry about, right, tall wide receivers. Because, well, I thought we had a tall wide receiver. I don't know if you remember him. He's the bane of Redskins hangover existence.
Yeah,
Josh Dobson. Josh Dobson.
yeah.
All right. Can Golden Gandy get separation? Because what I heard was he's a good, go up and get combated balls, contested balls. He can go
He's
get
six
balls out of
four.
the air. He's a big guy, a good red zone target. But I didn't hear that separation, right? I didn't hear that he's a speedster.
Right.
And my worry is I've seen this played out before time and time again where these great tall wide receivers in college, it doesn't mesh up in the NFL. Cornerbacks figure it out. They know when to smash your arms. They know when to, poke and push and all that stuff. I need them to see the route running because I think that's what's really the difference maker. That's why Terry McLaurin impressed me so much last year because he ran such crisp, polished, professional routes. And he got that separation. If you're telling me Golden Gandy can get separation, then I'm in. But if he's just going to go do jump balls, I watched that train wreck experiment. Okay, that cost me a first-round pick.
Yeah, yeah. I feel you. I do love the pick though. I think it gives them some versatility within the receiver group because right now all they have is speed. You
Yeah,
know, they need some size, and maybe Kelvin Harmon can develop and be more of that possession receiver. That's cool with me. Or Golden Gandy. It's nice to have an option on the other side of the field, but you're right. If there's no separation, then it's going to make going down the field tough, and it's going to make it easier to double McLaurin or something. But hey, if you're working in guys like Sims and Gibson out of the slot,
yeah,
that can do everybody wonders. So, Gibson, a bit of a chance, but you got to love speed. I mean, speed is speed in college or NFL. It kills. It absolutely kills.
yeah,
So that's exciting. We needed more speed. That's for damn certain.
yeah.
Woo.
And we'll see the mixed matches, right? I mean, I
Yeah.
think everybody's going for versatility nowadays, right? We tried that and swung and missed with Sua Cravens in the second round, how many ever years ago? But I think you saw that. You saw that in kind of the Patriots draft choices, right? Bill Belichick didn't go with a quarterback, didn't go where some people thought he was going to, but kind of went with these hybrids, maybe undersized, not quite the right space. The Ravens, they went with a middle linebacker who's, not that big, not that tall. I think you're really seeing the NFL start to adapt and morph. And you're right, speed kills. And if you can get those mismatches, then probably Terry McLaurin's not going to be getting double covered. If Steven Sims, here's what you need to be rooting for this year, right? I don't care about the wins and losses. In fact, I want a better draft pick. Give me more losses. I'll say that again this year. But if Steven Sims develops into anything of real, tangible goodness, and you saw the flashes, the glimpses, the potential last year, but if he can kind of put it together and start to really develop the way Terry McLaurin did last year, that's going to be an exciting problem for a lot of opposing defenses.
Absolutely. He's a slippery man. Yeah.
Slippery eel.
Yeah, dude. He's exciting. He brings a lot of juice to the table.
People say
So,
that about Gibson. So give
yep.
me two juicers, right?
Yeah.
No juice.
Yeah.
No
I
juice.
mean, you can have as many as you want, right? There's never enough speed in the NFL. So,
Yeah.
that's exciting. Some of the later round picks, I just don't know about. You got Keith Ismail out of San Diego State, center, or he's an offensive lineman. I don't know where they'll line him up at. You got Khalil Hudson out of Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
linebacker. You got Kareem Hunt out of Arkansas, safety, defensive end, James Smith-Williams out of NC State in the 7th. So, those guys, it's always trial and error, see what works.
Yeah.
The linebacking core, Nick, a lot of question marks there on our team. We brought in some veterans, Thomas Davis Sr. How do you feel about the linebackers right now after this draft? Because I don't know if Hudson's going to contribute right away or even at all.
Here's what I like about the Hudson, the Michigan kid, right? I like the fact that he was a captain. I like those attributes in people. That means something to me. That really ticks it up a few notches for me. There's a certain accountability, responsibility, determination, trust, commitment that I just kind of buy into, right? He might not make the linebacker cores better, but I bet he's going to be busting his ass to make that special teams. And those are the guys that tend to develop and might surprise you down the road. So if he's going to maybe contribute to the linebacker cores in 2 years, great, wonderful, love him. If he's a captain, hail the Redskins, Yeah. All right, let's talk about the rest of them. Thomas Davis Sr., right? The old Carolina Panther, the Ron Rivera stalwart. Love him.
I mean, that's more leadership right there.
Mm-hmm. And the culture setting, right? It's an instant. We talked about this before in a previous podcast. This is an instant way to set some culture going. Yeah. Then you got kind of John Bostic, who returned for another year. Great.
Yeah.
He wasn't bad.
No, not at all.
No.
I thought he did well. As well as you could have hoped for.
At a relative bargain, I believe. And then you got the young kid, right, from last year, the rookie, who surprised us all with the amount of playing time and tackles that he made, Cole Holcomb. You talked about speed. The boy's not that experienced, but damn it if he ain't fast.
Yeah, he can fly around.
He really can.
Reuben Foster, huh?
Ooh.
What will be of him?
What will be of him? Have we gotten any news about that? It's been pretty quiet.
Yeah, awfully quiet. I don't know what his status is. Yeah. Or I'd imagine he'd certainly be competing for that starting spot.
I know there was some reported nerve damage issues, and you never like hearing that. That's never a good thing. Yeah. So
it's a little scary.
I don't know. Ryan Anderson, right? He's still on the team. This is a kind of a massive year for him. Fourth year for the second-round pick. Is he going to get it together? He made some big flashes, but there's a new sheriff in town, and Ron Rivera doesn't give a shit what Jay Gruden thought about you before. He's made that very clear.
Yes.
I'd like to see what Ryan Anderson does.
Absolutely. And, I mean, hey, I think he's going to be one of those guys that's really going to benefit from this defensive line improvement. Yes. And everything starts right there. You can make the linebackers look good. And, I think that's what happened in Carolina. The linebackers, yes, they had Luke Kuechly. They had some beasts at linebacker. But also they benefited from some great defensive line play. So I think that can really help out a guy like Ryan Anderson, help him shine, maybe give him an opportunity for a contract extension.
Hey, Redskins get people paid. You know what I'm saying? Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper, Ezekiel Elliott. Oh, gosh, went all the Cowboys. They get him paid. Hey, let's talk about that. That's one thing. Just a real quick little sidebar. Yeah. CeeDee Lamb, right, wide receiver for Dallas, arguably one of the best wide receivers in this draft. I also heard some rumors fluttering around that pretty much after 2021, none of Amari Cooper's money is guaranteed after the next 2 years.
Interesting.
And if he's got a bone to pick because he's playing second fiddle, he might run an intra-division rival, maybe to get two opportunities to show him while he was wrong. Maybe a team that offered him, I don't know, say $22 million just 2 years ago.
All right.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Maybe we'll get him for a discount.
Hey,
I don't know.
All right.
Anyway.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah.
Wishful thinking.
Let me ask you about Chase Young, because this is something I've been worried about. You talk about that D-line. I think they're going to be in top 3 in sacks. I'm feeling really confident in that. I should probably put some money down. Maybe put my stimulus check down on that in Vegas.
Ooh, damn.
Definitely not. I have to use that for other things.
I was like, man, you're balling.
But what do you think's a reasonable expectation for how many sacks Chase Young should be getting?
There is no reason. There is no being reasonable with Chase Young's expectations. That's the problem when you come in as the best player in the NFL draft.
Yeah.
Expectations are through the roof, right? Expectations are that this guy is a Pro Bowler, that this guy is a Hall of Famer. Is that fair? No. But look, I mean, double-digit sacks first year, I think, are the expectations. Double-digit sacks. Those are the expectations.
Works
If
for
he
me.
comes out and gets 5 sacks this year, and he looks mediocre, dude, that's not a good look. Dude, like, wow.
Can you think of any other first-round defensive ends that had really good intangibles? Maybe we traded up for to get them, and they delivered some sort of similar stat line to what you're talking about.
Brian Orakpo?
Oh,
Brian Orakpo was a guy. I mean, he was more of a linebacker, but look, he was playing on the line. So that's where you wanted him. He was a pass rusher. And I think he made a Pro Bowl with us, perhaps. But he underperformed to where we hoped he had performed.
sure.
And you want Chase Young to excel. You want him to do better than that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The expectations are high because everybody wants the hometown kid to succeed, right? He's got everything going for him. Not only does he have the stats and the tangibles, but he's got the personality, the work ethic, the humility, and the opportunity to be, the real kind of defensive face of the franchise. You want him to be the best defensive lineman in the game because that's what you want, and that's okay. Let's pay him the most amount of money when the time comes, hopefully, because he's it. There's no doubt.
And he wants to be, and that's what's exciting. He understands his prowess. He understands his ability to become a leader on this defense because of his talent and his work ethic. So his expectations, his belief in himself, his confidence, are through the roof, and that is exciting. You know he's going to strive for nothing less, and I think he can do it. And that's where you make the sacrifice, right? You say, yeah, the offensive line's going to suffer, but this guy's an absolute lock. Put him out there. Let him prove he's the best D-line in the league. It might take a few years, but that's the expectation with that guy.
I sure hope it doesn't take a few years. I mean, when people say you're the best prospect, defensive prospect they've seen in a decade, you better come with it. Yeah. And I think his shoulders are big enough that he can handle it. All right.
Yeah.
Do you see the report recently came out that he might have a growth spurt, that his dad, among other people in his family, had growth spurts, and he might go from 6'5" to 6'7" or even 6'8"? He's like, I just got to be more flexible.
His dad grew late in life?
Yeah. His dad's 6'8". I don't know if you go back and look at that draft, a little video of him getting selected, you'll find out real quick who his dad is.
Yeah. Not hard to spot.
Here's a concern, maybe. Reports came out that Chase Young filed for a trademark of hashtag terrorize the moment. Are you concerned with a young player making a hashtag and trying to trademark it?
No, it's just what young people do. They love hashtags.
They put the hashtags right in front of all the words and smush them together. There's no spaces.
Terrorize the moment. It's not that catchy, I gotta say.
Yeah. I think seize the moment. I think that's what he's playing on.
It's long. Terrorize the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see anyone stealing that from him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be something with Predator, right? That's what everybody knows him as.
Yeah,
You
why get
can,
away from that? You're onto a good
yeah,
thing.
Predator pressure. I don't know. It's better than terrorize the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
don't know. I'd reconsider Chase.
So, Chase, I know that you're just starting to get into what Redskins hangover is and kind of what this podcast is, being a new Redskin.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for assistance out there, maybe you need some sort of creative, energetic help. I'd like to be the first podcast to invite you to collaborate with us, and we'll help kind of figure out some hashtags that might be more appropriate for a person of your stature and prowess.
Absolutely. We can have a whole brainstorming session. Chase, you're welcome on the show. Not every time. We can't welcome you. We've
No,
got a
no, no.
full schedule. We've got a lot of guests, a lot of viewers, a lot of questions to answer, but we can set up a meeting with your agent and work something out for you, okay? So
Yeah,
just let us know when you'd like to come on. We'll try to pencil you in. All right.
yeah, yeah. We'll give you the hometown discount even, huh? How about that?
Hey, all
All
right,
right,
all right.
10% off.
Hey, that's
Uh,
pretty good.
yeah, yeah. It's a Redskin hometown discount. So,
Um, all right, Nick, do you want to get into draft grades and get out of here? Anything else that you really would like to talk about before we kind of wrap up the show?
yeah, we'll do the grades at the end, but it would be I have two other things. I want to get your final thoughts on Trent Williams finally being traded to the San Francisco 49ers, right? We got a fifth rounder this year and a third rounder next year. Are you as relieved as I am that this shit show circus is just done?
No, I'm not relieved. I'm
Ah,
not relieved. And to be honest, I'm a little disappointed that we were only able to get a fifth round this year
I was
and a
worried
third
you'd say
round
that.
next year. I'm just disappointed. I don't care that it's over or not. I know a lot of people are relieved. I'm sure the staff is relieved. I'm sure it makes it easier to just put him out of sight, out of mind, and move on. So I understand. But, I mean, look, we were trying to get a first round for him, and we knew that would be difficult. A second round would have been nice.
Yeah.
Third and a fifth, I don't know, buddy. At least we got that third, I guess. I guess.
Wow, you're really taking the Trent Williams trade hard. I had no idea you were going to
I
be this
am.
unhappy.
I am. I mean, a guy that talented, a guy that capable.
Forget him. Get him
I
out of
have to
here.
now. Of course I have to. But you're asking me opinion. That's why we do the show, right? No, I'm not pleased.
I'm over it. Huh? Huh?
Yeah, over it. He's hanging on to his cousin's jersey. Look, that's why you don't buy a jersey unless they're dead or retired, all right? You just stuck with a $70 tab that just looks ridiculous. Unless,
Redskin
hey,
shop.
is that Mark Brunell's jersey? I don't
Yeah,
know.
there you
We
go.
can't see
There
it.
you go. Yeah, maybe it's a throwback. Redskins shop does have 30% off jerseys right now. Would you get a Chase Young jersey?
No,
No.
absolutely not.
But just because of your philosophy, not because of your beliefs in the kid.
Yeah, that's my philosophy that it's stupid to buy a jersey. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, thanks, Colin. So this next segment is brought to our friends over at professionaljerseys.com. Looking for a jersey, and why wouldn't you be after that?
Hey,
Check them out.
I thought Perrier could sponsor. I'm not drinking any alcohol today. I thought we had our fun on Thursday. Look at this cute little cosmic
Yeah.
can, huh?
Yeah.
Isn't that just everywhere you want to be? Perrier. Beautiful for a night stroll out in the galaxy. I don't know, that is pretty. I can't get enough of that, Jerry. Woo.
I also feel like I just appealed to every old person in this new technology day and age, you know? How many calls have you gotten of this?
Where you
Hey.
you zoom in yourself so much. There it is, folks. That
Well,
is
it's
a
just where
pretty
they
looking
don't know
can.
where the camera is.
Yeah.
Those old people. They
Mineral
can't.
water.
All
Yeah,
right.
they're just
You're,
staring into it. I've seen quite a few TikTok people showing their dads, their old grandfathers trying to use TikTok, just being goobers. Yeah, technology changes. We're not that far away ourselves.
yeah. Yeah. All right. It's frustrating. It's frustrating when you can't figure something out with technology.
Hey, we're doing it,
I
baby. We're
plugged
doing
it in.
it.
I
We're live
plugged it.
streaming.
Yeah, and I'll save my last comment. So Trent Williams. So we talked about that. Here's my last thing I kind of want to talk about before we grade the draft and get out of here. If you don't know our buddy Sam, Redskins Insider, all one word, smushed together. Those kids and the hashtags and such. Anyway, you can follow him along. He's been doing something. Brought up this thing on his post that the Redskins would potentially have $118 million in salary cap space for 2021.
How much?
118 million. 118. Now, keep in mind, right? Sheriff's probably not on that. You're probably getting Alex Smith off the books, which was a big hurt this year. And we've got a lot of young talent because, damn it all, if we couldn't keep anybody on this team.
Yeah.
That's exciting, right? I think that makes me feel like maybe this is going to be a one-year turnaround. Like I saw $118 million in cap space. I said, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Ron.
You know another thing that Chase Young does, Nick, is he creates excitement around the organization. People would like to come to an organization with players that are that damn good. I mean, if you can get that defense popping and then build an offense, I think it's just so much easier to have players gravitate towards your organization when you got big catches like that, you know? I mean, he's a big fish. So that's another exciting thing that he does. And yeah, he's going to sell some jerseys. Despite my philosophy, Dan Snyder's going to be very pleased with the jerseys that will be sold with the name Young on the back.
Yeah. I mean, maybe people will start to want to come here as players. Maybe linebackers next year will want to come here because they know the stats they're going to put up with that defensive line.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, they might not make many tackles. They might they might not get through the D line.
Here's a trivia question for you out there. And Collin, you're going to answer this. Let's see if you read this in one of the reports. Chase Young was modeling his game after one specific defensive end. One specific defensive end. Did he model his game after A, Bruce Smith, B, Julius Peppers, C, Khalil Mack, or D, Aaron Donald?
I'm going to go with Bruce Smith.
Going with Bruce Smith. Bruce Smith, who actually posted and said he would be open to mentoring and assisting and helping out with Chase Young's development. That was another thing that happened over the draft.
Wow.
But it was actually Julius Peppers.
Cool.
B. Julius Peppers, for those of you who went with that answer. Correctamundo. Congratulations. Nice. He just liked the tenacity that Julius Peppers played with.
Yeah. Julius Peppers was a fun guy to watch.
Mm-hmm. He was. Damn. He was a real disruptor.
Yeah. Played basketball, too, at North Carolina. That's a freak.
Whoa. Well, once Chase Young goes to 6'8", we'll see. Maybe he's going to be that dual athlete.
He might be what the Wizards need.
You been watching any of that Last Dance, the Jordan documentary series?
I would like to. I'm very interested. I watched a lot of Bulls as a kid growing up. I don't know who didn't. It was just such an easy team to watch. They were unbelievable. I would love to check that out. Have you been watching it?
No, I have not. I'm probably going to wait till it's all kind of lumped together and then just binge it, you know?
Yeah. Can you watch that? Can you watch that on Disney Plus?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Or is it through ESPN Plus.
HBO plus Max Plus, or Stars plus a Rooney Supreme Ultimate Plus. Yeah, it's going to be ridiculous. I don't know. That's a good question. I haven't seen it, but people have really kind of raved about it a little bit. People rave about the Tiger Show. I haven't watched that yet either.
Tiger King.
I
watched Tiger King. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's entertaining. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It's like Chris Lilly out there or a Christopher Guest documentary. It's insane. It's just bonkers. You'll definitely laugh. You'll laugh.
Crazy. Okay.
It's a show.
I got to check it out. We just started Killing Eve. For those of you looking for a streaming show, we just started it. But I really liked the first episode. I'm excited to get in there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. You got a show you're streaming?
Well, yeah. Like I said, Candace and I are watching Breaking Bad. We're on the 5th season right now. I've seen it before. It's her first time ever. Took her about 4 or 5 episodes to get in. Now she can't stop watching. And she also is watching Better Call Saul at the same time. She's a time bender, baby. A cosmic warrior. Yeah, she's in there. So I got a few episodes to catch up on Better Call Saul. I'm also looking forward to watching that show Cosmos, which is on tonight. It's not on demand, unfortunately, but it's with Neil deGrasse Tyson. And it's a new season of that. That's pretty fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, anything else, buddy, before we say peace?
I think it's time to get out of here. Thanks to everybody that watched the live stream. It's going to be up for anybody that didn't. If you want to see some of these faces, if you're like, wow, at minute 38, Nick really sounded like a terrible ogre. I want to see what his face looked like when he was doing that.
Yeah.
The mustache is available. Collin's got these really, really dreamy bangs that keep kind of sliding in and out.
Yeah, I can't cut them, you know. I don't trust myself, and I don't trust Candace to cut them. I'm just growing it out. Who cares?
Yeah, it's California.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Right on, dude. So yeah. Thanks everybody for tuning in. And also, if you're worried that this is all we're going to be doing, if you enjoy the podcast format, don't worry. We are going to put this particular stream up on our podcast. You can find it on iTunes or Google Play or even SoundCloud if you're using that. And you know where to find us. Redskins Hangover everywhere. So, all right, guys. For Collin Shoot in LA, Nick Webster in New York, we appreciate you tuning in. Catch you guys real soon.
We'll see you on Fortnite.
Woo!